How can we be so different all the time?
No.
What do you think I'm going to say? Welcome to another episode of Is This for Kids? I am Jonathan Bearded Blubbins.
I am Katie, Mrs. Ruvalcaba.
Hocus Pocus.
Hocus Pocus is one of the most beloved Halloween movies, especially in the last few years. It feels like people have just suddenly really glommed on to Hocus Pocus. I don't know if it was because it suddenly came out on streaming or what, but I didn't hear anything about it 10 years ago. But 5 years ago, everybody was into it all of a sudden.
So into it that they made a Hocus Pocus 2 in 2022.
Yes.
So just last year. So now there's like this revamp of Hocus Pocus, which what came out when I was a kid.
Yes.
And I remember watching it like on the Disney Channel.
Yeah.
Right?
I think I saw it on VHS, like when you would go on the weekends with your mom to Blockbuster and get a video and watch it before you go trick-or-treating. I think that's how I saw it. But if you've never seen it, quick plot summary. I'm going to steal it directly from IMDb. We've got a teenage boy named Max and his little sister who moved to Salem, where they're struggling to fit in, and they awaken a trio of diabolical witches who were executed in the 17th century.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fun facts.
Is that all you're going to read? I thought you were going to keep going. I was
No, that's the whole thing. So basically, we got a kid who, that's what IMDb says anyway. We got a kid who awakens these witches by lighting a candle. There's a spell book involved. They're trying to get the witches back into their, I forget what they were locked in the spell book, weren't they? Yeah. They just came through the door. Now I don't even know where they were.
Yeah. It's hard to make sense of the movie in general.
Yeah.
I remember watching it as a kid and liking it a lot. As I rewatched it, just recently, did not remember why I liked it at all, and could only come to the conclusion that I thought that Sarah Jessica Parker, who plays one of the witches, was beautiful, and that she maybe was one of my first crushes on TV.
Was and is beautiful, definitely.
Sure, of course.
She's Sarah Sanderson.
Ages like
should be easy to
fine
remember.
Wine. Yeah, Sarah Jessica Parker played Sarah Sanderson.
Yep, exactly. She's a beautiful woman.
As a 13, 14-year-old kid, when I was watching this, I just remember being like, she's very pretty, and I find that weird because she's so much older than me, and I don't know how to feel. And the rest of this movie is very weird.
Is it?
Yeah.
Go into detail there. So
I just thought that in general, the movie has like nothing good to offer. It's just a weird movie. Like it's just kind of loud, and there's like a lot of weird kind of like gross, scary parts that really weren't scary because it was aired on, pretty sure, again, the Disney Channel.
Yeah.
And so it was just weird. I never understood it. Don't even remember if it came out in theaters when I was a kid.
I think it did.
And if it did, like, I did not see it. Remember, I was scared of Casper.
Right.
So
on a scale of
I wouldn't go see that.
Of like Casper to Coraline, how weird are we calling this?
If Casper being not that weird and Coraline being super weird, and let's call it like a 1 to 10, I give Hocus Pocus like an 8.
Really?
Yeah, like this is not, and again, happy to be proven wrong. I'm not a super big Halloween person.
Yeah.
Like, so I don't dress up for it like ever. And if I do, I'm like, I put a Lions jersey on. I'm like, I'm a Lions fan. And my kids are like, Dad, that's lame. And I'm like, yeah, so is the way we celebrate Halloween. The real Halloween is actually really cool. All Saints Day, All Souls Day, but we won't get into that.
All right.
So yeah, I just like, I don't get into that whole like witch thing. I feel like the culture right now, even though there's a lot of interesting Wiccan things happening that people may or may not know in our culture right now, the idea of like Salem and these witches and black cats, like for me, I just don't see it around the culture as much anymore. And so the movie doesn't make sense. Whereas like in the 90s, it made sense to me. So yeah, it's just kind of 3 really, really loud witches who are being like outsmarted by 2 teenagers. Mm-hmm. And so I don't think there's any redeeming qualities in it. Kind of regret that we had to watch it all the way through again. And I will just say this, like, as we talk about whether or not it's for kids, it's just another one of those movies for me where it's like, it's just not one I'd probably show my kids because there's just better movies out there.
Wow. All right.
Wow. You like Hocus Pocus?
I am not a hardcore Hocus Pocus fan like some people out there. There are people who are just, it's like the Golden Girls. It seems to be the same set of people that are just really excited about Hocus Pocus. And I wouldn't put myself in that camp. But as far as like Halloween movies go, I think that it's harmless. I think it's fun. The plot is easy to follow, which is not the case in a lot of children's movies now where there's like 60 bad guys and confusing. It's very obvious, like we're trying to get this book, we're trying to say this spell and put these guys back in where they belong. There's a talking cat, which is cool. There's a cute little love interest who's not inappropriately dressed, and the zombie isn't a zombie. Like he is, but like the creepiest thing about him is his mouth is sewn shut.
Right.
But he's not scary looking or any of those things. So it's very easy to watch with kids. It's fun. It's silly. There's musical numbers.
The music is probably the best part.
Bette Midler's in it.
Bette Midler is a legend.
Right? Yeah, Bette Midler is fantastic. So I think that it's a perfectly good, perfectly acceptable kids movie, and easy Halloween stuff, not too scary, but gets you festive and in the mood.
Interesting.
There is one like slight weirdness that I would point out, and it's that the story behind how the Sanderson sisters can be brought back to life is if a virgin lights the black flame candle. And I remember when I watched this as a kid having no idea what a virgin was. I was like, I know the Virgin Mary was virgin. I don't know. Like, they don't have any kids? I don't know. Didn't know what the concept was. So, like, the fact that the little sister is teasing the older brother about being a virgin is a little weird. But it might open up a conversation for your kids. But otherwise, it's going to go right over their head.
That's high school, though. It's weird.
Do you know what the average age of child?
I know. I'm just saying it's weird though in a Disney movie to put to like have them. Don't the witches make fun of them for it too and razz them a little bit?
A little bit.
It's like adults making fun of like a teenager about being a virgin is just not something that would probably fly today.
That's very 90s. Yeah.
Don't you think?
That's a very 90s trope for sure.
Yeah. And I have to look this up, but like what came first, Hocus Pocus or Sabrina the Teenage Witch? Do you know offhand? The show with with the talking cat?
Yeah, it was Hocus Pocus.
Hocus Pocus came first, okay. Because I can't separate those two cats in my mind.
Well, I think it's the same cat, the same animatronic cat.
Is it actually?
I don't know, probably for the close-ups. But Binks, the cat, he's cute. I like him. And he's Thackeray Binks is the character that is the cat, and he is a cat because the Sanderson sisters put a spell on him because he was trying to save his little sister.
Yeah.
And that's a thing. Like, and so you get this cute like brother sister bonding. There's Thora Birch is in there as the little sister to the main character Max, and it's very, very cute. And I like seeing a protective older brother in a movie. I think that's cute.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah.
So what rating are you giving this? Is this movie for kids, and what age would you say you're cool with kids watching this?
I would say that this is appropriate for anybody 5 and up.
No, you are not.
Yes.
You don't mean that. Seriously?
Yeah.
How can we be so different all the time? What age do you think I'm going to say?
40? What? Like, 8th grade when they learn about sex.
13.
No, really?
No, like I'd honestly probably say like 10 or 11. Okay. It's fine. 10 or 11. I did write 13 down. But like my reasoning is just that it's just a waste of a watch. No offense. I do want to see Hocus Pocus 2 because the woman, I believe, her name is Hannah Waddingham. She plays in Ted Lasso.
Oh, okay.
As one of the main characters, and she's awesome. And she is in Hocus Pocus 2. And Bette Midler's back in it, and I'm pretty sure Sarah Jessica Parker and Kathy are in it as well.
Yes. All of the original cast returns for Hocus Pocus 2. However, my kids didn't like Hocus Pocus 2.
Did they like number 1?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'd like to see number 2. But for me, there's just better Halloween movies out there. Not Coraline.
Coraline's not a Halloween movie, but it would make sense.
It would make sense in Halloween because it is weird. Man, 5 and up.
Yeah. I mean, so like for me, when I'm looking at if a movie is appropriate for kids, I'm like, is there any sex? No sex. No nudity. No drugs.
A lot of cleavage.
Okay.
A lot of cleavage.
Sure.
Which for sure was the reason I liked the movie when I was 13.
Okay, but I got 5 kids, and so my kids, saw some breastfeeding in their life. They're not
True.
so freaked
I did
out.
not. I did not.
They're not terribly freaked out about that whole situation. But yeah, no sex, no drugs, no violence, really.
Some language.
Mild language, but
interesting.
Yeah.
I'll stick with my 10, 11, and you're going 5 and up.
Yep, 5 and up.
What a blessing.
Well, what a blessing.
Y'all can find us on YouTube. Is This For Kids? You can go to isthisforkids.com.
Yes.
And find every single episode that we've done. It's evergreen content. So check it out. If you have any questions or comments or reviews you'd like to give us, please do. We're very active on our social media as well. So we'd love to hear from you.
We've got Christmas coming up. You got a Christmas movie you have questions about? We've got answers.
Shoot your eye out, kid.
I know.
It's a great film.
My husband literally just bought me
Miracle on 34th Street is for kids. We're not doing that episode because it's already for kids.
Sure. Yep.
Okay. Join us next for Nightmare Before Christmas. Speaking of Christmas. Until then, we'll see you in a little bit.
Bye.